We all know that kid in the corner of the class, right? You know that one kid with glasses and a gray sweatshirt who has no friends? Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Well, have you ever spoken to that of one person? Maybe you have noticed and it differs if you ever find the correct person. That they seem to talk about death at least once during your conversation. You may be thinking, why would he or she bring such a topic into the conversation? You still are following me? Good. Now, what he seems that you don't see. He doesn't see a teacher, neither a class full of children. What he sees is very hellish, inhuman. You may be able to see the fourth of the dimensional place. His outcasts from his society has caused him to have a mental breakdown, thus creating his false reality he lives now. And what he sees is not what you see. You may not even see him talking to himself at times. What is he talking about that isn't human in his mind? If you decide to talk to him, he would become quite happy, but be careful what you say, as his sanity is on the edge of being completely destroyed. He'd become homical, and his psyche would have been chipped apart. Quite painfully, actually. Almost like driving a screwdriver through your temple very slowly. Who knows what could have happened? It happened to in Columbine and maybe even some other several schools in across North America. Don't believe me? Go and see for yourself. Go to that talk to that kid in the corner of the class and see if anything I just had said isn't true. And that, my little pretties, was The Kid in the Corner of the Class, a creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? It's a pretty good pasta, actually. It's not really exactly frightened or, frightening. It's not really too scary, in my opinion. I mean, this is actually a story that I've been kind of wanting to do for a while, because I do remember a few people narrate this. Not a lot of people narrate this story, actually. I don't know why, but I know this is an older story, but I remember Dave the Useless actually narrated this story a few years back. And I also saw that a few people actually narrate the story. Not really many people, but a few people have narrated the story. So I decided to go ahead and, give this one a read. My thoughts, I actually thought it was enjoyable. It's a pretty good creepypasta for what it is. But, however, I do have some things that could be, well, maybe more interesting, so to speak. Like, I mean, despite the fact that how short this one is, I feel that it would have. I really wish that story would have been expanded a bit. Although it's a short story, I felt that as if it never did expanded, because if it did, it would have been an interesting place. But it leaves me wondering about why this kid is, talking about death a lot. Does he have like ADHD or something? I mean, it's quite possible that it could be a kid, maybe a nerd kid with ADHD or something. But I really don't know, to be honest. It's quite possible, but yet again, I know it's a short story, but yeah, um, there's not really much about, this kid who is at the corner. There's like no backstory really much about explaining to it. So, yeah, I mean, all we know is that he's thinking about maybe he has no friends or something. I mean, everything is quite possible in my perspective, but I really don't know exactly much more to say about, why is this kid, in the corner? Why is he talking about death a lot? I mean, we don't really get too much of an explanation, so to speak. We don't really get that much of an explanation as to why this is the case or something. I feel that I wish that there would have been, something added to it, because if that was the case, that would have helped out with the story a lot more. Maybe that might be just me, but I don't know. Maybe someone might be able to maybe explain that. But yeah, I mean, what could I even say? I haven't, checked out this story in a while. I think the last time I did was maybe about a few years ago or something. I don't know, actually. I could be wrong. But yeah, this story, I honestly do wish that this one was longer, because if it was longer, we would have been able to, sit there and get a good explanation, so to speak. Maybe there's something, of me that might be maybe there's something I'm missing here. I don't know. I generally, do not know, but yeah. So, yeah, anyways, I mean, I'm just kind of confused a little bit as about this story. So, yeah, I mean, but besides that, the story was honestly pretty good for what it is. It does have like a good explanation, but to be put it fair, I mean, I like the fact that it has a good explanation as to, what's going on and all that. But I do wish that there was more added to the story. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I really do wish that there was something added into it, because in that way this story would have had, an interesting concept. So, yeah. Anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna sit here and say this now. The grammar and the sentence structuring was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good concept for it. So the grammar was good, as well as the sentence structuring, the storyline of how it all went out, and especially with the whole plot of it. But I do wish that it was longer. And oh, excuse me, pardon me about that. And I also do wish that the story was longer and expanded a little bit more, because that would definitely help out a lot more with the story. Maybe it's just me, but I guess maybe there's some explanation to, what's going on with the story. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know, to be honest, but I do wish that it was expanded. That's all I can say. But it's not a bad story. I actually found this one to be a interesting creepypasta for what it is, but I do wish it was expanded. So, that's just all I really have to say. But anyways, I'm going to sit here and say this now. I don't know who the original author of this story is, so I'm going to leave it as anonymous until I find out who the original author of the story is. If I ever find out who the original author is, maybe if he or she were to comment in the comments section and let me know or something, then that would help out. But I guess with that being said, I'm going to sit here and say this now. This is just my own opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 because although it wasn't really a scary creepypasta, it's still an enjoyable story for what this one is. I do wish, however, that there was a little bit more expanded of the story, but that's either here or there. So, I mean, I didn't find this one to be a bad story. I thought this was like an interesting, decent story. But I do wish that it was longer, yes. But I do wish that there was more added to, the story. Maybe the story could be expanded, per se. So then that way it would help us out a lot more with the concept. But anyways, what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.